Hey, welcome back to the Chocolate Squad, or welcome if you're new. Today I'm going to be talking about a comment that was left on my previous video called "The Billionaire Didn't Say That Black Women Are for Grown-Ups." If you haven't watched it, you should probably watch it for some context because this comment comes from there. I'm going to have it up on the screen, but I'm also going to be reading it out bit by bit because I'm going to be responding to it bit by bit. Okay, so the first part reads, "Here comes the Willie Lynch playbook of sorcery again. Oh, the residual profits from that letter. Don't try to play black woman because we've read that letter to the T and we can also read between the lines." Okay, so I had to do a bit of research to figure out what the Willie Lynch letter was, and I found that it was a sort of book that was called The Willie Lynch Letter and the Making of a Slave. And it's a controversial text that claims to provide insights into the brutal methods used by slave owners to subjugate enslaved Africans. Though it's like some scholars regard it as a work of fiction, the letter's description of psychological strategies for fostering division and mistrust amongst slaves highlights the dehumanizing tactics employed to maintain control. It is also believed to still hold relevance today due to the fact that some of the manipulative techniques and the psychological strategies are found in society today with the deep rooted structures of racial inequality. I don't know what any of that had to do with the video that I made, so I'm a bit confused. I did reply to the comment and say that I didn't know what it was back before I researched it, but I still don't know what relevance that has to the video that I made. Anyway, so also said don't try to play with black women. Also, I don't know if she realizes, but I myself am also a black woman. So anything I'm saying on here is in order to facilitate the growth of black women or fellow black women. So I'm not sure what she meant by that either. If you haven't watched my video and you need some context, the video was about a white billionaire who said that who allegedly said that black women are for grown-ups, but turns out he never said that, and he came out saying that he never said that. And I then closed it off by talking about how we need to decenter men, and I will elaborate on what I mean by that a bit later once I finish with this comment. She then says, "It's difficult for some to be a black woman, yes. The oppressor has done everything possible to turn black men from black women, and yes, women. I remember when black men wouldn't ask you out if you wore your natural hair, and some still won't. That's only one example. Therefore, all the sorceries back to sender." I don't know what sorcery you're talking about, but my God is a good God. I don't know anything else. Sorry. So this leads me into the decentering men and what I actually mean. So what I mean is decentering men from aspects of yourself that you can't change. For example, there's a certain feature that a guy likes and you don't have that feature and you can never have that feature. Oh well. Too bad. There'll be somebody out there who likes you for you, and that's the person that you should be focusing on. So, how do we do that, you may ask? Okay, so first of all, you need to embrace your self worth. In a world that often measures our value against external standards, it's crucial to affirm our worth independently of social validation. Each of us have inherent value, unique talents, and strengths that deserve recognition and celebration. Let us cultivate a deep sense of self esteem grounded in our inherent worth. Okay, so secondly, we need to prioritize personal experience. Experiences shape who we are, and they deserve to be at the forefront of all of our narratives. By centering our own stories and perspectives, we acknowledge the richness and diversity of human experience. Let us honor our journeys, embracing both triumphs and challenges that have like sculpted us into who we are today. Okay, so thirdly, we need to redefine success. Success is not a one size fits all kind of concept that is dictated by external standards. It's about defining our own paths and charting courses that align with our values and aspirations. Let us free ourselves from societal expectations and redefine success on our own terms, rooted in fulfillment, purpose, and authenticity. It also would benefit us to celebrate our identities, whether you're Caribbean, African, British, American. Each of us carries a unique identity that deserves to be celebrated and embraced. Whether it's our gender, our race, sexuality, or any other intrinsic aspect, let us take pride in who we are and engage in self expression that reflects our authentic selves. So, we also need to foster personal autonomy because true empowerment lies in asserting our autonomy and making decisions that honor our own needs, desires, and well-being. We need to set boundaries that protect our autonomy and advocate for our right to self-determination in all aspects of our lives. There has been something similar going on in South Korea called the 4B movement, also known as like 4 No's. It's a radical feminist movement that has caught attention of people in the West, in like UK and the US, which is basically no dating, no sex, no marriage, and no childbirth. So the reason why they do this is to challenge gender norms by advocating for their own autonomy, to empower themselves by asserting control over their bodies, fighting against gender-based violence, because if they're not in contact with men, they won't be subjected to violence from those same men. They're doing this to raise awareness for the struggles that they face as women in Korea and build solidarity with each other to form a big community. They also do it to create culture shifts because if they advocate for progressive values like consent, bodily autonomy, gender equality, they can create a more inclusive society for future generations. But it does sound all nice and good in theory, but we should stray away from implementing it in the black community because black women were already seen as not really desirable and that people skip over us a lot. So us restricting ourselves in that kind of way will probably reinforce the stereotypes and accentuate them. Though I do agree with the no childbirth thing, specifically out of marriage, out of wedlock, because that feeds into the baby mama epidemic and the stereotypes that have been imposed upon black women that they are all baby mamas and that nobody wants to commit to them. So I do agree on that one. I highly disagree on the no marriage one because marriage is good. Marriage provides security for the man and the woman, especially if we're talking about dark skinned black women here. We're talking about the women in the relationship. The man just can't just leave you and abandon you with a child. And on top of that, it's just good to have the support of somebody that you trust and that you know very well in your life. I've seen studies about how the majority of people in prison end up being from single mother households. I'm not too sure if it's the majority or if it's just a high percentage. I can make a video about the impact of single parent households later on if you'll be interested. Comment down below. And yeah, that would be all from me today. So if you enjoyed the video, consider liking and subscribing. Also, hit the bell notification so you could be notified on future uploads. All right, bye.